Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we are going to be doing a tutorial of all the um elf and Maybelline products. Well, not all of them, but some of them, which I will get all of them done in other videos. So let's get started with ice. So I'm going to take the elf hydrating camo concealer in the shade Fair Warm and the Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush, and I might want to get my mirror as well. Kind of making it less stiff. This concealer is really good. I love it. I love both versions, honestly. Honestly, I do. I love both versions. And this concealer dries really fast. So that's what another thing I love about it. It dries really fast, so I can powder it really quick and don't have to wait for it to dry. Sometimes I do powder the L'Oreal concealer really quick because I'm like impatient and not wanting to wait for it to dry, and then it messes up my eyeshadow. And I do have a makeup wipe already. I don't think I'm going to need too many today just because I'm not using the foundation that I used in the series. I'm just making sure it's up. So I'm going to save that for later. And I've been keeping all my makeup in my drawer now instead of separating it. Because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do these videos of all the makeup I have left from that series. And then I'm going to pick um, what makeup I'm going to be using and stuff like that. Well, it's just to let you know, once I pick what makeup I'll be using, I'm only using one concealer for everything. Alright, so now we're good for the powder part. So, this is where Maybelline comes in. We're going into the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder in the shade Classic Ivory, and I'm just using my Real Techniques setting brush to set. let me tell you, I don't know what in the world happened. Oh, and I took my nails off because it's been a while since I had them on, and it's only like a 7-day wear. Anyways, I don't know what in the world happened. Um, but I was cleaning my face yesterday and all that. And all of a sudden, I see these like not holes, but where you could see into my pores a lot more. So I started squeezing. All of a sudden, a bunch of stuff came out, and it was a blackhead. There was one right here, one right here, right there, and then one in this area. And I'm like, what in the world? So I'm gonna save that for later. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna need to use the other powder for everything soon. Um, so now I'm gonna go into eyeshadow, which I got 2 eyeshadow palettes we're using. They're both e.l.f. I don't have a Maybelline shadow palette. First is the e.l.f. Bite Size Palette and I Love You a Latte. And we're going to take the Eco Tools Angled Crease Brush. We're going to go into that first shade. And this is what we're going to put all over the eye. Crease, eyelid, brow bone, all over. And once I find all my makeup brushes, because my fiance has pretty much lost all my makeup brushes. Yeah, it was. Then I will be switching some brushes and keeping some brushes and all that good jazz. This is just gonna add lightness to the eye. And all that. So. Alright, so we're gonna put that to the side for a minute. Then we're going to go into the e.l.f. Perfect 10 eyeshadow palette in Nude Mood. I'm going to get all my eyeshadow brushes out of here. I'm going to take this crease brush. I'm going to clean it off the best I can. To get as much eyeshadow off the brush. And you'll see me do this a lot today. Just because I use these brushes a lot in the series. Alright. So then now I'm going to go into the fourth shade in the palette. I'm going to start adding to the lid. And I'm gonna have a bunch of fallout, and I found out that it's a lot easier to just let all of it go underneath and then wipe it when you're done with your whole eye look. Because if you try to um pretty much do it in between, you're just pretty much wasting makeup wipes because there's gonna be more. I'm probably gonna do more wedding makeup trials as well. Even though I know what I'm wanting, this is not for me, this is for bridesmaids. And I'm going to do it on me because most of my bridesmaids are fair skin like me. So they have the same complexion and same tone as me. So it's like whatever I can use on their makeup, it'll be a lot easier because then, we're not going to share makeup, but it'll be a lot easier. That's good for now. Now we're going to take that same crease brush, going to clean it off again. I'm going to do a lot of cleaning brushes off today. Just because that series was long. And these brushes are dirty. But I can't find my other brushes, so I kind of gotta use them. Now we're going to go into the second shade with that crease brush. I try to knock off as much fallout. In this, we're going to go all the way up to the brow bone. So we're going to go into the natural crease all the way up with this shade. We just gotta blend it at the natural crease. Might as well blend it with at the other part too. And that was hot. My computer's charging at the moment, and I am sitting on my computer's charger, and it's hot, but I can't move it because I try to move it, it's just gonna fall. So we're done with the bite-sized palette. And we're done with the crease too. It's now just the lid. So we're gonna take the e.l.f. blending eye brush. Gonna clean it off because again, it was also used a lot. I wish I could, get some new brushes, but I can't. So, gotta live with what I have for now. I mean, I'm gonna be using some dirty brushes anyways. So I'm just blending it really slowly so that I don't blend too much. There, I just put it under my pillow. So it's getting way too hot there. It was not very pleasant. Alright, so we're done with the blending eye brush. Now we're gonna use this brush again. Clean it off the best we can. This one I will also use the makeup wipe on the actual brush. Alright, so now we're going to do eyeliner really quick, which is the e.l.f. H2O Proof Eyeliner Pen in Jet Black. What I was going to use for the wedding. Found out. Eyeliner pens, in my opinion, are so tedious. Sometimes can be super tedious. But then it works because they're so much easier. Like, no mess ups. I mean, I guess kind of did mess up. So we're gonna let it dry and then we can buff it off. I have new mascaras, so now let's do the other eye. Again, any mess ups we do, we'll let dry, and then we can buff it off. So it's and this is why, because it just smears it everywhere. Alright, so now we're going back into the Perfect 10 palette. I'm going to use that brush. And we're going to go into the 5th shade. Right here. this eyeshadow makes it perfect too. So now we're going to use a cotton swab. Like this one. I'm going to try to buff it off. Right, but yeah. It's not going to be even because I put the bite-sized palette away. And now I'm just trying to. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So now we can go into primers. And foundation. And all that. So first we're going into the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. With 4% niacinamide. And this thing is very sticky. Like the original was a little sticky, but this like is very sticky. And I think it's because that added benefit into it. And back to those blackheads. Like, I don't know what in the world caused them. And now I'm scared. So I feel like now my face is having a reaction to something. Now that everything's getting closer to the older side. But it works. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer with the e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. I'm doing this side first. So I'm kind of blending it in with my finger first. And then I'll use the brush. lot of makeup on that mirror. Let's see what this is. And this is one of those poreless primers that you put all over your face. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting it all up, making sure it spreads nicely. Oh, and a little update on my life while we're doing makeup. So I have officially stopped talking to my mother. Uh, oh, the reason is because she kind of forced me to. She has blocked me. For good. Which she has no right to block me. I'm not the one that messed up. She is. You know, blaming my fiance for something he didn't do. All because you want him with your 13-year-old daughter and not your 19-year-old daughter. Um, Emotionally attacking me because I didn't follow in her footsteps. Um, what else? I'm trying to think. Oh, trying to control the situation with the wedding when it's mine and Tyler's, not hers. And she's not even the one paying for it, and that's probably why. She can't control it that way. What else? Oh, there was a lot. Um, there's a lot. Um, the last straw was controlling, and then I told her that, because of her actions lately, me and Tyler made the decision that she's no longer welcomed to the wedding. She's like, fine, me and the kids won't come. And then the next day she blocked me. So, it's okay. It's her loss. She wasn't in my life this long. I don't think she needs to be in it at all. Anyways, now we're going into the Untouchable Woe Glow from e.l.f. Just to add a little bit of glow to my skin. Just, even though we're using the Halo Glow as the foundation, and it can get pretty greasy, but I have an idea. I have an idea. Because it's not like shiny on my skin. It's very beautiful. And I love how it has broad spectrum SPF 30 in it. Anything after 30 doesn't really do anything. On me at least. And I'm fair skinned. So I love how it's like, you know, it has that SPF in it. So I could wear this on its own and go to the beach or something. I mean, I would have to reapply and take it with me. But that's the thing, like, literally, I could go to the beach like this and I'd have to reapply. Reapply at least every 2 hours. But still, okay, that's every 2 hours. And I help my face not get burnt. I mean, it's just a nice product. It's a very nice product. So, so what I'm doing is I am letting this kind of dry down. So then the glowiness, and it's not too much, and I can still use the Elf Halo Glow as a light coverage foundation. A very light coverage foundation, which I prefer nowadays. I mean, I'll still use my full coverage, especially when I'm having problems. But today I'm not having that big of a problem. Area besides where those blackheads were, that's healing. That's about it. So now we're going into the Elf Halo Glow. Yes, I am using the applicator. To kind of spread it around. But I'm also going to use the Real Techniques soft accent brush. Like, literally, I could go somewhere like this with the rest of my makeup and enjoy it. So I love how this doesn't give too much coverage, so it's not clogging my pores. I think that's what happened. That and my face is sensitive to fragrance. Oh, my whole skin's sensitive, but my face is really sensitive to fragrance. So I'm wondering if my face is not reacting to that foundation. Which sucks because I'm like, you know what? I'm not underpainting today. But anyways, like, to what I was saying, which sucks because I'm like, I'm using it up no matter what, like, whether or not it's the cause for my blackheads or not, I'm using it up. Because it's like, I have skincare down there, I have stuff that can get rid of it and gonna help me get rid of it. I should have underpainted to kind of help with the glow. Didn't think about it until now. The applicator's so nice because it's so much easier. But I am gonna be making it matte anyways. It's like, I guess it don't really matter. And just to keep everything even and everything looking together, I'm gonna put it on my neck. Not my ears though. Just my neck. Which is okay with the mom situation too. If it seems like I'm trying to rationalize or something, I'm not. It's just, it really is okay. Because some of Tyler's family don't get to come either. Because we're at our limit. We set a limit of how many people we can invite. And after that limit, nobody else can be invited. Not saying that limit's gonna come. That many people's gonna come. I'm just saying, like, in general, that's what we did. We set a limit before we started the guest list. And now nobody else can be invited. Yay. Which is kind of great. Because some of Tyler's family, I don't get along with. It's just because of reasons. And we told his dad that, and his dad got mad. I'm like, when I tell you the same thing I told my mom, you're not the one paying for it. He goes, why isn't your parents paying for it? I'm like, because both of my parents can't afford it. So it's coming out of mine and Tyler's pocket. He goes, that's not right. That's not tradition. And I'm like, nobody goes by tradition anymore. They don't. Oh my gosh. I've seen all over Facebook this, by the way, I'm going into the e.l.f. putty bronzer. But anyways, I've seen all over Facebook this first look stuff. Yeah, essentially it's taking the tradition of the bride not seeing, or the groom not seeing the bride in her wedding dress until the second she walks down the aisle. It takes that away. I don't I don't like it. Me and my fiance, me and Tyler, are going with tradition on that one. On the tradition of the bride's parents paying for the wedding just because they can't afford it. We're not going by. And I seriously think that's why she wanted to try and control other things in the wedding. Because she wasn't the one paying for it. Alright. So I'm taking this angled brush and I'm dipping it into the putty bronzer, which I'm using the shade Tan Lines. So this is essentially just adding more coverage to my face. Essentially. Just because I don't have much coverage on my face, so this just helps say if I had any problem areas, this would help. So that's essentially what I'm doing, just trying to help. Say if I had any problem areas, I was just trying to help. Even though it's so sheer, which I actually like that. I'm liking these sheer products more and more. Just because of the fact that it's sheer. Okay. So now we're gonna do our nose and then go into face concealer in between the bronzer, the two bronzers. And oh man, probably like one more use, and this thing will be gone. Anyways, anyways, so then we're going into the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. Oh, wow. And I have the shade 110, which I think one shade lighter would be better. So we're now doing the face concealer. Which, this is such a great concealer. I definitely would repurchase it if I didn't want to try and do something different. So some of the stuff that like I do like that I would want to repurchase, I'm not going to, just because of the fact of I'm wanting to try new things, and you never know if I'm gonna like them or not. So it's like, so now we're gonna do blush, which is the Maybelline Cheat Heat and Nude Burn. Essentially just does the same thing. It's gonna help me give more coverage to the skin, which is essentially what I want to do. Because I want to practice giving my face more coverage, because of the fact that there are a lot of times that I have problem areas. I'm going to take this sponge that I've decided I am going to throw away when we go to either A, go to wash my brushes, or B, when the Maybelline Cheat Heat is gone. So now we're using the Real Technique sponge to kind of blend that back. blend that in better. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Highlight Beauty Wand in the shade Liquid Gold. Which is almost gone. It's not going to be too much longer before it's gone, which is super duper exciting. So now, again, going into my Real Technique sponge, blending that out the best I can. It just makes it more of a matte highlighted look. Or like, not a matte, but a soft highlighted look. Alright. So there is a lot of things going on. So really quickly, we're going to hit it with some e.l.f. setting spray. Just the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. Like I said, there's a lot going on with my face. Okay. And I forgot to do concealer. I'm silly. So we're gonna let that dry. While we let that dry, we're going back into our e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Going to do that. Essentially that too. We're gonna let that marinate. Can't believe I forgot to do that. It feels good. I have a little bit of air coming on me while doing this, and it just feels so good. Alright. So, now we're using the Camo Concealer sponge. To blend that out. So now we're going back into our powder, and we're going to use this big powder brush really quick to powder our neck. And now we're going to use the Real Technique setting brush. I'm going to set the whole face with this brush. This just really sets it. From now on, when I get done doing my uh, foundation, I'm going to do my concealer so it can marinate. While I'm doing the rest of my face. Which this is making me really matte and poreless. It's making me really matte. And I think poreless, so I'm gonna have to look really well. Yeah, essentially it is. The setting brush is great. Like, it's great for doing what it should do. Set makeup. Alright. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Blush, or Matte Bronzer, in the shade Forever Sunkiss. And we're going to use the e.l.f. Angled Foundation Brush to apply that. Anywhere that we applied the putty bronzer, we're going to apply the powder bronzer. And don't worry, we will be using the angled brush to blend in a minute. So, I'm going to use the angled crease brush really quick. To essentially blend out the bronzer. So it's more natural. It literally looks more natural. Alright. So now we're going to use the crease brush, dip it into that bronzer. And go like that. Go like that. Go like that. Alright. So then we're going to take the setting brush so we can get that fallout. Ugh. And we're going to take the brush and we're going to do the same thing we did before. Kind of make it look more natural. Alright. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Blush in Always Cheeky. We're going to use this Real Techniques blush brush to apply it. And my thing is, with this one, that I like, this is a bronzer. Okay, I've dropped these many, many times. And they never cracked, broke, anything. Sorry about that. That was... Alright. So now we just have lips to do. Which one I'm going to wear and one I'm just gonna or no, e.l.f. Glossy Lip Stain in Power Mauve. And I also have the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss. Which eventually I will use again. I have Champagne Glam. It's like I said, eventually I will. So, now I'm going to use some more setting spray. And there you have it. Here's the final look. This still looks a little horrible. But essentially, here's the final look. Alright, I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.